Hello everyone, this is Lisa Kester with Wild Acorns Art Studio, and I'm here to do another video on painting my little plates. Hope you guys aren't tired of me painting these little plates. I keep painting like different things though, you know. So here's what I wanted to do today. And the reason that I really wanted to show you guys this is that I have fallen in love with this clear blue glaze. Now, it's called, can you see how it's crackled? It is just, I don't know, it's just me. I mean, I like to paint fish and watery things, so there you go. Get a good look at that. But I have fallen in love with this. It is called Laguna's Catalina Crackle, and it is WC 136. So that is what it is. The only bad thing is that it does say that it is not food safe. And it says due to bacterial growth. Now, you know, the thing, it doesn't really worry me is that it's food safe. The reason they're saying that, it's not the glaze itself. It doesn't have lead in it or anything like that. It's because of the crackling, and that you could get, if you soaked it in water, you know, you could get bacterial growth down in there. Now, low fire glazes, most of them crackle. If you use a clear low fire, and I didn't realize this until I became a potter, but I bought, you know, some, you know, you can go to these Home Goods and these different places, and you buy these casserole dishes that say made in Italy, and you can feel when they're lightweight. Usually that means they're low fire. You can tell stoneware, like this is pretty heavy. You know this is stoneware. But if you pick up a casserole dish and it hardly weighs anything, chances are it's low fire. And so when I would start washing my casserole dishes, you know, a lot of times you have to soak them in water a little bit first to, you know, to get them clean. And I noticed that the clay under the glaze had absorbed water through the top glaze, you know, and so you could see, you know, when you looked, that there were tiny crackles all through there. Now, you know, a lot of people say, you know, that's not food safe because you can get bacteria in there, and you know, it could make you sick. Now, I've been using that dish for many years. You know, there's not really any bacteria. I mean, it's not like it's black in there or anything. And then you wash it. I wash mine in a dishwasher, and you're putting soap in there. So to me, I'm not that worried about it, because like I said, it's not the glaze itself. It does not have lead in it. So it's minor. Now, something that I've done, and I'm going to do on this one, it's a little bit weird. So you cannot feel on this one, you cannot feel the crackle. It's really smooth. So what I did was, and this was a test that I did, that's why I fired this already, is over the top of the Catalina Crackle, I put a clear glaze, just one coat of clear glaze, that helped it stop the crackle to go all the way to the surface. So that's why I thought this would be a pretty interesting video. And I was afraid that once I put the clear over the top, that it would not crackle, because I've had some, I tried to do a matte clear, or I think it was a satin clear by, might have been Amaco, that had a crackle effect, and it didn't crackle, and I wanted it to crackle because I wanted it to look like raku. So I think I'm going to play with that one again. But so I think these are food safe. I would eat off of them. But that being said, most people aren't going to use a dish like this for food anyway. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Now this one, I've got 2 layers of the stone around here. But after it came out of the kiln, I don't really care for the 2 layers of stone. I think it's too much brown. So on this on this plate I'm painting today, I'm just going to do 1 layer of the stone and then put some more grass. You can see there's some grass in there. And then you can see down here, I tried to put a little bit of like moss, and I really like that. Now the fish did not turn out real orange because they are under the crackle, the blue crackle. So the blue crackle affected the color of the underglaze a little bit. So what I'm going to do on this plate, and I know I don't have it fired yet because I haven't painted it yet. I'm not, you know, what I'll do is once I fire these plates, I will put the picture on the front of the video, so you'll be able to see it. But it takes me a while to fire stuff anymore because I don't make, you know, a ton of stuff. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing today. And again, this is Catalina Crackle. I just ordered 2 jars from blick.com. So if you order, of course, I ordered some acrylic glazes from them too, and I ordered an alabaster white because I want to try to do some straffito in that with a black underliner underneath to make it look like naked raku. I don't know if you've ever looked at that. Trying to think of the guy's name. It's something DeLuca. He's from Italy. He's just doing a class on naked raku on the ceramic shop, or I'm sorry, the ceramic school. I don't have the means to do it, you know, naked raku, but it's gorgeous. It's one of my favorite pottery things or types of pottery. He gets beautiful colors. Is it Michael DeLuca? Shoot, I'll have to. Or just look up DeLuca. You'll find him. Anyway, so that's what I'm using. So let me get started here. Now, I'm just going to wipe this off. Let me lower you down a little bit, I guess. Lower you down. You can see I put a little basket here for the girls, Millie and Molly, but she's over in the box instead. So, you know, of course they prefer the box. You try to, you know, make their accommodations nicer, and then she gets in the old box. So anyway, I am wiping this out to get the dust off of it. I think I'm going to do 3 of them. I only have 3 blank ones left before I make some more. And I am going to do, I've had quite a few requests of how I make these. The hardest part about these, there's nothing really hard about them. It's just that it's not something you can just run out and buy, the molds. I'll have to show you the next video, but it's just basically a square Planters Peanuts jar that makes this indentation, and then the outside you can just, you know, make a cardboard cutout as a template, and then just smash it down into your foam piece. So I mean, they're simple to make. You just have to eat a lot of peanuts. I just bought another jar of them, and because the one jar I use for these is at the rec center where I work, where I teach, and so I wanted some for here so I can eventually do a video. So I told my husband he's gonna have to eat a lot of peanuts in the next couple weeks. I could actually use it with the peanuts in there though, couldn't I? Okay, so let's. Oh, and so the underglazes, as you can see here, they are in a bead tray. If you don't follow me, if you're new, I put mine in a bead tray with unadjustable or unremovable dividers. And so these things, I got myself some bleach, okay? And I am going to, let's see, get a brush here that's, I'm just going to, well, let's see. I'm just going to drop, they smell really bad. And if you use underglazes enough, you know what I'm talking about. The red, orange, and yellow are the worst. So I'm just going to put, that's about probably 5 drops. The Amaco here doesn't smell much at all, but I'm just going to put a tiny bit in there. And I don't know if it's really mold. Some people have said it's bacteria. I think that's good. Gotta put that up there away from the kitty cats. And I'm just going to stir this up because it makes me I can't breathe. I can't breathe when I'm working with these. They smell so bad and my head starts stuffing up. And so if, you know, like I said, some people have said it's bacteria, that it's not really mold. And I've had some people say it's mold. But because of the smell, I tend to believe that it's bacteria, which, you know, you don't want to breathe. And so that really, I should have probably showed you up close the difference before I did that. But the bleach really took out the black bacteria, whatever you want to call it. And hopefully they'll smell much better. And I don't know if you saw some of the comments from my last video. I've had some people tell me that, and I did not see this, but Amaco or Mako, Amaco. Amaco is possibly having some issues with their underglazes. I've had more than one person tell me that, you know, they've gotten their underglazes and they're watery. And, you know, even like this red has been in this container for I can't tell you how long, a month or more, and it's still watery. These two here, the avocado green and the chartreuse. Now, in my one video, you'll see where I have mentioned that I let these sit out for, I bet it's almost a month with the lid open and in the jar, and they hardened up a little bit. And then I poured them in here, and I did not add any water or gum solution, and they turned it into liquid again. They're very runny. So, but I would suggest, if you buy them and they're really runny, to leave the lid off for a week, check them, and just leave the lid off until they come to the consistency that you want them to be. Okay. And then just go from there. It's really kind of ridiculous that you spend $60 on a jar of glaze and then you have to let, you know, all the water evaporate out of it. Okay, so I've got my little tray here to mix some of my colors up. You can see there's some brown there from the last time. So I'm going to put some brown on there, and And this is just a brown that I made. I mixed some red and purple, blue and green until I got the color I wanted. So here we go. Let me lower this a little bit. You can barely see Millie's little ear in there. Okay, I gotta move my cup. I gotta get a drink. I got my Diet Coke in there. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of white to my brown because I don't want a solid brown color. It still smells, but it did clear up the colors. But I think it just has to sit a little bit, and I think it'll be fine. So I'm adding a little bit of white to the brown, and I'm just going to go around and make some little pebbles. And I'm really just, you know, pushing down the brush. I'm not really painting. You want to make them big and small and, you know, all different sizes. You don't want your paint to be so thick that it's, you can feel it, it's elevated, because it'll poke its little head right through the clear glaze and you'll have a dull spot where it came through. See how easy that is? Hope everybody had a nice 4th of July. Happy birthday to the USA. There we go. Let me see, I think I'm going to add a little bit one right here. Because like I said, you don't want them all like sitting in a row. You want them, you know, see, there you go. So let's do another one. Add a little more white. Yeah, make sure I, there we go. Okay. I've been doing watercolors too and some acrylics, and I don't know if you guys, you know, if you just do pottery. Some people just do pottery. A lot of people, you know, do dabble in other things, and I wanted to ask if you guys knew about ATC card swaps. They're artist trading cards, and Amy, oh, I can't think of her last name, Amy, but if you look up Camden Library, Amy from the Camden Library on, I think it's Instagram. It could be Facebook too. I think she's on both. But anyway, she does these card swaps, and I've been in a couple of them. I'm in the one in July coming up, so I have to make some ATC. I keep wanting to say ATC. So I gotta make some cards. You make 20 of them. They're always 2.5 by 3.5, and there's different themes, and a lot of artists hold these little, or I guess they host these card swaps, but it's apparently a big thing in the acrylic painters. I shouldn't say acrylic, but because there's watercolors too, or mixed media. I guess I should say mixed media. But it's so fun. I'm really enjoying making the cards, and then at the end of the month you get 20 cards back from 20 different artists, and then you can kind of see what they did. And oh my gosh, some of them some of them are just adorable. I mean, so I may hold one of those. I may host an ATC card swap. Get it right, Lisa. Get it right. But that's a whole different thing than pottery. But I think it's good to be, you know, have different interest, you know. Because, you know, one of the things I really like about the pottery is the painting. There we go, little. But it's fun too to see where these cards come from. They come from all over the, sometimes they come from all over the world. Depending on who's hosting it. So we'll do this and then we'll add our water, but the water is going to be, well, I can add the water after this. I can't remember if I added the water first and then did the underglaze, but I think it's probably best to do the underglaze first because since it is underglaze, sometimes you add a regular glaze over an underglaze, you can get bubbles, and I've had that happen especially over white. Like when I tried to put a white glaze, when I tried to put a clear regular glaze over the white underglaze, that didn't turn out too good. I've talked about that before, and I know other people have had that problem. I kind of think it's the ultra white that does that, especially on the brown clay, because the dark brown clay, because it's dark brown, could be because it has a lot of manganese in it too, but I think it gets hotter because you really can't fire dark brown clay. There's some that'll say they can, but like I know standard 266, it will bloat if it gets to cone 6. I have had it happen. So okay, I can feel my head stuffing up. I hope that bleach. I don't want to put any more in. I think it'll just take time for the bleach to kill the bacteria in there. Okay, so now I'm going to add some green. Let's see here. I think what I'll do is start out with the avocado and then put a layer of chartreuse over the top. And hopefully it's not so thin that it's going to run all over the place. It really bugs me that it's like that. Yeah, it's pretty runny. I think if I put it on the paper towel, I think, jeez. Let's see how that works. Paper towels suck out some of the water. It's going to waste some of it too, but we'll see. I don't want to have to go over it 100 times, you know, trying to make it so it's thick enough so it doesn't burn out. Underglazes can burn out pretty easily in cone 5 or 6. I don't fire to cone 6 anymore, just, you know, because of that. I fired a cone 5. It's usually a 10-minute hold, and that gets it, you know, hotter than a cone 5. I don't think it goes to a 5.5. And I have had some, you know, burn out, but not too bad. So yeah, so I'm just putting on some grass. You guys are kind of far away. Hope you can see okay. Let's see. Let me move you closer. Oh, there, now we're close. There we go. Now you can see better. For those of you who have been watching me for a long time, you've heard, you know, the pitter patter of all our dogs' feet, you know, as they're walking around. And, you know, we had Ernie, he's a little Yorkie. He used to sleep underneath my table here. And then we had, here we go, you can see that. And then Sophie, but then Ernie passed away. And then Sophie, our big Brittany, she passed away a couple years ago. I guess it's been now, a year and a half maybe. And we had to put Archie down yesterday, our other Yorkie. So yesterday was a very rough day here in the Kester household. It's going to be rough for quite a while. There you go. So you can see the grass on there. Putting this in the paper towel is really helping. It is pulling the liquid out of the, there you go. It's pulling the liquid out of this underglaze. So anyway, so no more, you know, barking dogs in the videos. Now we just have the kitty cats unless we succumb to another puppy or dog. We've had dogs for 42 years. It'd be hard not to have a dog. I love the cats, but there's something about, you know, a dog. But we'll see. Right now we just have to get through it. There you go. So I'm going to go over these also though with the chartreuse. I'm just when you're it's so much easier to, let me get some more avocado out of here. So much easier when you're doing, you know, a set of 3 or 4 to kind of do the same thing on each one in succession. It's easier to keep them more the same. You know, if people are buying them as a set, it's kind of nice to have them more uniform. I just love these little plates with the fishy in them. There's just something about, you know, a goldfish that makes me happy. Okay, so there's that one. So now go back to the first one and try to put some of this back in here. You hate to waste it, don't you? So just scoop some of that back in there. All right, so now I'm going to get out some of this chartreuse here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I've got my big thick brush here, and let's see. Gosh, it's just so watery. Very, very disappointing. Oh, I've had this lid propped open since our last video, which was over a week ago, probably. So that has been that watery. Oh my gosh, for over a week. I thought for sure it would dry out more. Okay, let me rinse that out. There we go. Get a paper towel here. All right. I'll lay that over here. All right, let's see. Okay, maybe this will soak up some of this water. Oops. Okay, so now just going to dip my brush in the, here, let me, you can see this real quick. See what I'm doing here? I am just laying the underglaze on here, and the paper towel should soak up some of the moisture out of the underglaze. There we go. I don't know if you can see. It'll help the, well, you can't really stand it up so you can see it. It'll slide back down, but making my nose run. Okay. So I'm just going to go over the green grass, which is avocado, with some chartreuse, and some of the avocado will show through and some of it will not. But you know how me, I like it to be two-tone. Helps them, you know, so that the glaze isn't flat. Because underglazes can be, you know, I don't like regular glazes really that are a solid color. You know, seems, at least in my opinion, I like glazes that show movement, you know, show texture. And so with the underglazes, you know, they don't move at all, of course. They really don't stick to the kiln shelf unless you put them on really thick. I just put usually a couple coats on. Whoops, there you go. I forgot to show you that. And then I'm going to add just a little green around here. Like a little moss maybe on the rocks. Okay, see, so it just adds a little bit of moss. Let's go do this one. I'll try to hurry up so we can kind of get to everything in the video. I have a little fish pond out back. I used to have a bigger fish pond, and it the fish were, well, I don't know what we're gonna do about this, the new one, but the fish would, some of them would die, and then all the frogs would die. And where the fish pond was, the trees have grown up and all the leaves fall in the pond, and we put nets over it, and try to put nets over in the fall, but I don't know, we could just not keep those leaves out of there. And so when you've got leaves, decaying leaves in a pond, it creates the same smell as that, like a sewer, and it sucks all the oxygen out of the pond, out of the water. And then you got, oh my gosh, we had all these dead frogs. And so we decided to get rid of, where'd that go? My nose is running. Sorry about that. So we decided to get rid of the big pond. I guess we're going to take it out. And then, so anyway, so I got a little pond on my patio now with goldfish in there. They're so spoiled. I go out every morning to feed them, and then I feed them again around 5 o'clock at night at supper. And now, every time I walk past them, they want food. They're so spoiled. I'll have to show them to you. As soon as I walk up to the pond, they all come up to see me. Well, really for the food, We always spoil all our animals. My dogs used to all sleep in bed with me. I remember when we got them as puppies, they just, snuggle on the pillow next to me. I'd wrap them in a little blanket and they'd sleep next to me. Because that's why my husband gave up and slept on the couch. Oh, I'm a terrible animal lover. Gosh. My sister-in-law teases me that because I saved the worms off the sidewalk. Oh, I just hate when I see a worm lay on the sidewalk and it's all drying up. So I have to put in a little water and try to save it. Oh, I know, it's ridiculous. Well, now I've used way more. I think I will definitely try to put this back in there. I do not want to waste that. What if I got a spoon over here somewhere? I used to have all sorts of little stuff. This will work. Okay. I thought I would need a lot more of that. This is just a little plastic ruler. There we go. I know I'm cheap. Glazes and everything are getting so expensive. My gosh. I can hardly, like I said, I just ordered some glazes and oh my gosh, they ordered my Catalina Crackle. Can't wait to get that. I have a little bit left in here, enough to do these. My nose is tickling. I tickle my nose. Okay, let's see. So the next step, I think, is, we're going to put a little lily pad in the, now I got to get that glaze back out, darn it. I'm going to put a little lily pad in the center, in the corner here, I mean. Just a little one, because these aren't very big. I love the leaf of a lily pad. I don't know, there's just, I know, I'm weird. I don't know why, I love, I used to have lotus flowers in my pond, and I don't know, I just love a lily pad leaf. I like to grow the flower nasturtium. I don't know if anybody has nasturtium. They are an annual, so I have not had any reseed themselves, but I'm sure in warmer climates they do. We're in Cincinnati, Ohio, so most stuff does not reseed itself here. Um, but their leaf is a lot like a lily pad leaf. That's why I like the nasturtium flowers. So I made a little, I don't know if you can see that there. I just kind of took the chartreuse, and so lily pads, their stem comes down from the center. I'm sure you guys have all seen lily pads. So I think this, that's why I like them. So see that? I don't know, you'll be able to when I use the black liner. Okay, so what's next here? Let me move this. I'll end up putting my hand in there. Set that over there. Let's see. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything, because I think I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to put the goldfish. Well, I don't know. What should I, I really don't like how they turn kind of brown because of the blue glazes over the top. But if I put the underglaze over the top of the crackle glaze, it can turn, you know, matte or bubble. But I think since I'm going to put the clear over the top of that, I think I'll be okay. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and put the crackle in. I hope I have enough here. I should. I got about 1/3 of a jar left. See, that's what it looks like. Okay, get any dust in there. So now I'm just going to kind of bring it up. It doesn't matter, you know, if it covers some of the rocks or the moss, because, you know, water washes up over rocks and stuff anyway, right? So I don't really worry about that too much. And I'm going to put on 3 good coats. And when you're putting on these coats, make sure the first coat is dry before you put the second coat on. Okay, so you can kind of see that. It's so quiet here. It's kind of weird without Archie running around barking constantly. It's very eerie, kind of. It's an eerie quiet. We're just not used to it yet. There we go. All right, that's one coat. Is everyone doing some summer art festivals? I used to do a lot of them, but I don't know. Maybe next year I'll get back into more. It was nice when places let me bring my horse trailer. Still talking about buying an old school bus. That's what I really want to do. My son and I are looking all the time for old school buses to renovate and turn into a little artist shop. There is there's that one. There is an artist. She's a mural artist. Charlie Moss. It's like CharleyMaspa or something like that. She bought a big old Bluebird school bus, and she painted the whole inside. Well, she just repainted it. The whole inside was white, and she just painted, I think, the ceiling blue maybe, and it is just, she turned into a huge, like I said, a huge artist studio, and now she's driving it all over because she does murals. Like, she does paintings too, but she does these huge murals all over the country. And oh my gosh, I'm so jealous of this big beautiful school bus. She has a little fireplace in it, and I guess she'd have to secure her artwork pretty well before she drives. I don't know if she probably has a way to secure it all. Okay, so this will be 2 coats. It's so hard to get talking and then forget how many coats you put on there, but I wouldn't care, as much with a lot of glazes, but for the Crackle glaze, you do have to have at least 3 coats on. I don't think it works as well with less. And I want a lot of crackle, so. All right. We're up to 47 minutes. I hope you're all still watching. I know it's hard to watch a video for that long, or, just to take the time out of your day to watch a video this long. But maybe you're glazing too. That's what I used to always do. I look for videos to play while I'm glazing or making pottery, because when you're doing pottery, or any artwork, you're usually sitting in a studio by yourself, and I hate that. I mean, I'm an introvert. Like, I like to be home, but when I'm doing artwork, I like to be with people. I don't know. It's hard to isolate myself to do pottery or artwork of any kind, really. I would much rather, be where I work at Dunham, sitting with a bunch of ladies, a bunch of friends, painting and glazing and chatting, and it's like we have a really good time. My classes are 3 hours, and gosh, the time goes so fast. Alrighty. I just love this Catalina Crackle. Did I already say that? So yes, Lisa, you've already said that. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how much I love this. I have been looking for a glaze that looks like water for so long. And I saw another artist, I can't remember who she was, using this. And she recommended it. And I went out and bought a jar. And oh my gosh, I just love it. Love it, love it. Okay, so now, here's my experiment. I'm going to put my fish on top of here. So I'm going to use, this is bright orange. I don't have much left of this. I bought, this is a Amaco underglaze. So the Amaco underglazes do come out pretty bright, but when you buy them in their liquid form, they look like a pastel, but it does get pretty orange. But there's nothing like an Amaco velvet underglaze. I just love them. I think the colors are nice and intense, but little disappointed lately in them. You know, I've been talking, you know, so many years about, you know, using them, and I don't get any money from them. I do not get any free glazes. I wish I did, but I don't. I don't get any free glazes, so I'm not recommending them because I'm getting paid or anything. You know, a lot of these potters these days, you know, they get a bunch of free stuff from some of these companies, and then that's why they recommend them. Okay, so now I'm going to paint my little fishy here. And I just keep my fish very very simple. They're just kind of you know, kind of whimsical fish. I'm not painting them, you know, to be really realistic. And these two, put on one coat, let it dry, and then put another one on. Put a couple little babies over here. So we have a mama and a papa and two little babies. I keep looking at my little pond outside to see if there's babies in there. We stick the hose in there every once in a while to clean it out. And I'm so afraid I'm going to wash the little babies over the side. So I try to see if I see any swimming around in there. There we go. I haven't seen any though. We had a raccoon get one of them out. There's a big old fat raccoon who comes up in the yard. One night I left my jar of fish food outside on the back patio. I mean, you know, it was a jar with a lid on it. And it must have been him who walked off with it. Took the whole jar of food. I guess he had fish breath for a while. And then I guess he caught one of my fish, so now I have a, what do they call that? It's one of those big giant planters with the, I guess, strawberry pot. That's what it is. Strawberry planter. We've got the open little things on the side of the vase or planter to grow all the little strawberries and everything. So I put one of those on the inside that they can go into. I put a pot on the top. I'll have to take you outside sometime. Some of the flowers are starting to bloom and starting to look kind of pretty back there. So they can go in there now and hide if the bad old raccoon comes back. I think this one's going to have 3 big ones. They're having a party. I'll put one little baby over here. There we go. Gotta put some fins on this guy. Sometimes I like to put little black on there, but I think I'm gonna not do that because I'm gonna outline. I think I'll outline these, and then I put a little black on them when I outline them with the liner. So we'll see how orange these guys stay. It is so humid here today. My son and I were out in the garden earlier, and it started drizzling on us. Here's a really fat little fish. I think he had too much cake. Too many desserts. That's my problem. I like desserts. Give me a warm dinner roll with some butter on it. You can tell I'm getting hungry, can't you? I think it's getting close to supper time. I'll have to figure out something for dinner. Maybe I can talk my husband into going out to dinner. I'll start my video uploading, and then by the time I come back from dinner, hopefully it'll be uploaded. It takes hours to up, because at first I'll flip it. I'll put it into an app that flips it for me, so it's not backwards. And then I have to upload it to YouTube, so it takes, I don't know if it's our, well, it's probably the internet that's so slow, but I can't wait to see these fired. So I did go back, well, I didn't yet. I got to go back on my watermelon plates and put the little stripes down the side. Everybody wants them down the side. But Millie broke one, so now I'm down to 3. Okay, so we got the fish on there. So next, here we go. I know you can't see the blue, unfortunately, the Catalina Crackle here, and it's gray. But you guys know that it will be blue, remember? So so next I'm going to go ahead and put this liner on here. This is my Zyme Tools applicator bottle. There's a red one and a blue one. I have big hands, so I like the blue one, but the red one's really nice too. In fact, a friend of mine has the red one, and that one might be easier to hold and get more accurate with. I'm kind of used to this one, but so I put Amaco Velvet Jet Black underglaze in here with a little bit of water. Now, if your underglaze is chunky or anything, you'll want to run it. You'll want to run it through a strainer, like an 80 mesh sieve or something like that, to get all the lumps out. You do not want lumps when you're trying to use this. If you turn it upside down and it's dripping out, you've added too much water. So you'll want to add some more regular glaze to it. Sometimes it takes practice to get the consistency right. I hope you guys can see this okay. I think this outline is my favorite part. It just makes them, you know, everything pop. So the trick to using these is you're always pulling away from you. You never want to go this way because the inside is going to fill up with underglaze. And then you will constantly be cleaning it out with the pin. So I kind of go, I hold it, if you notice, I hold it sideways. I don't hold it straight up and down where I'm going to scratch it. I hold it sideways and I can control the amount of underglaze that comes out of there a lot easier than if it was straight up and down. It doesn't scratch because I don't fire these in between. Now you can fire this and then come back and do your underglaze and you're clear. But I don't do that. I don't. Let's face it, you don't want to do is, you know, too many firings. Firings cost money. Plus it takes time too. Gosh. Constantly waiting for something to fire. Okay, now I'm going to do my rocks. Remember to, you know, you're squeezing this ball as you're using it. See, I got it clogged up there a little bit. And you just squirt it out on your, I don't know if you can see that, but when it gets clogged, I just squirt it out on here. Let me move that over a little bit. You can kind of see what I'm doing. And that helps. A lot of times I don't need to put the pin in there. It's hard to do a circle without bringing it back towards you. There we go. Yeah, so I will, when this is dry, I'm going to put a clear glaze on these right away and then fire them. I do not, like I said, I do not fire them and then put the clear on. I just use my nice soft fan brush from Amaco and, you know, just be very, don't brush real hard. You need a soft brush. When you're applying clear glaze over underglaze, if you haven't fired it first, you just need a soft brush so you're not smearing your glaze. And remember to breathe. Sometimes I catch myself holding my breath, trying to be very steady. One of these days I'll get all these done and put them on my Etsy website. It's getting close to time to doing all pumpkins. Gotta get ready for the pumpkin festival in October down at the Weber's Family Pumpkin Festival. Hello, Miss Molly. Okay, and I'm going to put eyes on my... Keep having to squirt some out. There we go. Put some eyes on my goldfish. What are you doing? You see I'm working here? I'm working here. I don't think they like their basket I put over there for them. Okay, so now I really can't see the outline of this. I can kind of see an indentation, but I wish I could see more of the outline of the lily pad. So the faster you go, the thinner your lines are going to be. So it looks, I don't know whether I should outline the fish or not. I don't usually, because it makes them so stark, where I want them to look like they're under the water and it's softer. But you can see the lily pad, I had to kind of guess where that green outline went. So, oh, we're over an hour. I try not to go too much over an hour because, and I thought this was going to be a short video. Because sometimes YouTube kicks you off, and plus, you know, a lot of times people don't want to, you know, they're getting bored. They're getting bored. But this is my last little plates for a while. I have another project that someone just gave me an idea for. It's kind of like, well, it's kind of like my stained glass, but kind of doing a clay frame and then put in glass in the center, which, but not really stained glass, like more of a mosaic. So we'll have to try that. Because you could even use, I have to think about that, how to make it really my own. This other one was made, you know, it wasn't made with pottery. I'm not copying somebody else's work. It was like resin and wire and one of those magazines you get. But she said, you know, you could do this in pottery. You could do this out of clay. So I thought, you know, instead of putting stained glass on the inside, I could do a mosaic with, you know, old pieces of pottery or old, go buy some old china from the thrift store and break it up, put that in there. So that's another video I want to do. I get bored doing the same thing all the time. I should make some more red birds. I've got people asking me about red birds. They're one of my favorite things to make. I shouldn't say to make. I just love them. It's one of my favorite things that I do make. Like, I'm not one of those people who is going to go buy a bunch of pottery, like vases. I'm not one to have a bunch of pottery vases. Like the real fancy ones, you know, or the real giant planters or vases. People, a lot of these potters love to make these vases. And I'm just not one to have all that stuff sitting around my house. That's why I think I like to make dishes, or like to make things that you can, hang outside in the trees. Yard art, something like that. There we go. I think this will do it. What do you think? Should I outline the fish? So here's, I'll hold this up. So here's what it looks like now. And there's what it will look like. Hopefully the fish will be brighter. I'm going to put a clear over the whole thing. It's a little too wet right now. But that's what it'll look like. But see, I don't have lines around those fish. I used to put lines around them, and I don't know. I just thought they looked softer without the lines. So anyway, that is my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's see if I can't move you back here a little bit. Slide you back. So I can see you. You can see my face. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you like my videos, please subscribe. Please share. It helps me when you share my videos. Helps with the algorithms and all that stuff. And I haven't looked, but I was getting close to 5,000 followers. I have to go on there and look when I upload this video. We'll have to do something special. Something special for 5,000. I tell my family, I said, I've got almost 5,000 followers. And they're like, really? But I have 4 brothers, so, they're not easily amused. So, anyway, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate your feedback. I'm trying to get better about showing you the finished product. And I hope you just have a great day. And I hope you enjoy potting. Not potting, but, well, some of you might. I don't know. I don't do that stuff. I know, I'm jabbering. Anyway, hope you enjoy doing your pottery. I will talk to you later in the next video. Thank you so much. Don't laugh at me.